Happy Friday, everyone. Happy Friday. Welcome to Susie Say That. Today's topic is Call Me If You Need Me. Yeah, think about that for a moment. When someone says to you, Call me if you need me. Although this statement is broad and it can mean many things to many people, I'm going to get right into it because I'm going to talk about when people have a need and you say, many say, Call me if you need me. They've already expressed to you that they have a need. You already know their circumstances. You know exactly what happened with them, but you are still yet to prone to say, "Call me if you need me," and you have the abilities to help them. You have the need. You have the need, whether that's in your pocket or you have the need, whether that's in your resources. You have the need the person needs, but you'll quickly tell the person, "Call me if you need me." Let's just stop for a moment and think about that. I even heard someone say, "You ask not, you get not." And I'm like, aren't you quoting a scripture that the Bible was talking to those of us that follow the Christ, that we should ask him for what we need because he's our Father. He's the great I am that I am. He wants us to ask him. He takes pleasure in assisting us. He takes pleasure in us asking him. So doesn't that scripture apply to us? But you're quoting that scripture because someone asked you for something? Come on now, something's wrong here. And then many do it. And I'm thinking this is just not this person. Many think that way. They think if a person has a need or they need some money or they need some groceries or they just need somebody to be with them and just comfort them because they're going through a difficult time, people are prone to say, "Call me if you need me." The loss of a relative and all these things, they're quick to say, "Call me if you need me." They do need you, but you know that. That's why you say it, hoping that they don't call you. Because why is a person that just lost their job have no resources? Yeah, they don't have any money saved up to go buy groceries or pay a bill. Why would they need to call you and you already know that has happened to them? So what are you getting out of it that they need to call you? And the first thing you'll say, I've heard people say it, is that they walk in pride. They didn't call me, so they evidently they didn't need it. Where do you get this? Who said that? The Grinch just stole Christmas? Because it's nowhere biblical. And I'm not talking about the world because the world does what it needs to do and what it wants to do. But I'll tell you this about the world. They still know how to take care. They know charity starts at home. They know how to take care of the world. That's why many of them leave all their monies when they die, many rich people, to charity. Because they know exactly what that means. But we have the resources sometimes. We won't even send a person a card. They just lost a loved one. You won't even think about, well, maybe they need dinner. Maybe they don't want to cook. Maybe they're grieving. Maybe they just don't need that. Maybe I just should fix them something and call them and tell them that I'm going to bring them something. But many of you don't. You said, well, if they needed me, they would have called me. Why would a person call you and they just lost a loved one? Why would they call you to tell you that why do they have to tell you how they're feeling before you give them what they need when all they need is a card? Maybe your children can make them a card. Is that too hard to ask for a person that's going through a difficult time? Is it too hard to ask you? You just got your paycheck today. You know something happened to a person that you know at your job. Is it too much for Monday for you just to bring them a gift card for $10? Letting them know that, I don't have much, but I'm just going to bless them with $10 because maybe they can buy a meal with that. We got to think about words that we say to each other. We have to think about in times of difficulty, what are you saying to people? Are you expecting people? And are you quoting that scripture the wrong way? Because that scripture is for us. For those, you got to read this Bible, but you got to know who is the audience. Many don't know that. They don't know who the audience is. You should always check and see when you read in the Bible, historical facts. You should always check and see who is the audience. Who are they talking to? Because you'll go around quoting scripture and it doesn't mean that, but you'll think it does. I mean, away with this foolishness saying that they got pride, they didn't ask me. Why do they have to ask you for some groceries? Why? If you go look in the Bible, because you say you read it, many of you, you'll see where The Bible doesn't say they need to ask you. It said if you see your brother or sister in need, then you that are able to do something should do something. But then you go back and you'll say, well, you ask not, you get not. No, what do you, like I just said, who said that? To the poor. The Grinch, that stole Christmas, because it's not biblically for the poor. The poor shouldn't have to ask you to feed them, and you have the means to do it. A person that's grieving shouldn't ask you to bring back send over a card to their house. You know, my mother died not too long ago, and when I tell you this, my friends showed up and showed out. The people that I deal with, some cousins that I deal with. I'll start with my best friend. Kept calling me, making sure, she didn't say, if you need something, call me. No, she was calling and say, I'm just checking on you. My best friend, Deborah. I had some other cousins that called me. But, she kept on calling, making sure I was all right. My childhood friend, Michelle, kept calling me, making sure I was all right. Saying, Susie, it's okay. Because they know how I felt about my mother. So, I had my friends and stuff calling. My cousin, Tasha, and her husband, Rick, and her two daughters sent me a box. And in this box, I just sit there and say, God, thank you, because they sent me money. I mean, every time I got something out the box, it was something else. To tell me that they were thinking about me. They're thinking about me in my time of my mom passing. They were thinking about me while everybody else was sitting around judging me. They were judging. They were. Heard all kinds of foolishness. However, those are the people that really cared, the people that responded. My friend Harlan kept calling me. Oh, you okay? Do you need me? To come to the funeral? Do you, he asked me that. All my traveling sisters, we'll come. They didn't say, if you need me, we'll come. They said, we'll come. We got to think about these things. I appreciate them. The prophetess, Eunice, prayed with me constantly and had been since all these things that had happened with my mom. We just prayed and prayed for my mom for years. Prayed for her when she was sick. Always, because she knew that was a concern of mine. So all these people that called me and showed up. My friend Kelly called me. And she said, I know you're going to say don't send you anything, but hey, listen, I want to. I love you, Susie. I want to send you something. I said, Kelly, it's okay. She said, no, give me your Zelle and please don't tell me again it's okay. That's what I'm talking about. These people care about me. They didn't tell me, call me if you need me. They didn't text me or message me on Facebook or some social media platform and say, call me, sister, if you need me. They didn't say that. They showed me that they were thinking about me. It's not just about the monetary things that they gave me. It's about the fact that they knew that I had lost someone that was precious to me. And they knew how I felt about my mother. So they called me and they sent cards. I mean, I read one of my cousin's cards. It was beautiful. I read it like 4 times because it was heartfelt and it was genuine. She really meant everything she said on that. Her husband, I was there back in, I think, March or February or whatever, and he knew that I was having some issues with my hand. I opened up their box, and guess what? There was something to strengthen my hand. I mean, they showed up and showed out. They sent me beautiful things. And they kept calling me because that's the way it's supposed to be. I did the same thing when my cousin lost her brother. I did the same thing. And then asked the people that knew her, did they want to put something in the box to send it to her? A few said, yes, absolutely, and they done. They did that. So I'm asking you, if you really care about these people that you tell to call you if they need you, then won't you be the person to just tell them that you want to meet a need? One of my cousins was very ill and went through this major surgery. She had cancer, and she don't mind me saying it because God has just did miraculous work with her. And I tell you, I called her to check on her. And I said, hey, what's going on with, and she was like, well, Cousin Susie, they said they want me drinking lots of protein. And I said, okay, I'm going to go get you the protein, the best one, the one that they have that's for people that have that's dealing with cancer, being delivered from cancer. I'm going to get you everything you need. And I did. And I took it to her. Another friend of hers called her and said, Do you need something? And my cousin like, I'm okay, but thanks for calling me. She said, no, I want to bless you during your time of sickness. Tell me, it's got to be something that you need, because I'm not going to hang up this phone until you tell me. That is the way this is supposed to be done. It's not supposed to be done when people got to call you and they have a need or they're going through some difficult times. They got to call you and tell you all about it before you move. Before you move and do something. They're not asking you to help them out. But you say that you're a follower of Christ, you're such a great, great Christian, you're such this and stuff, but you're not even doing what the Bible say. You're not doing what it says. You say you love these people, you care deeply about them, but they got to call you. If they don't call you, then you pull up those false accusations against them. And you say that they got pride. Well, I said they needed me. I've heard people. And I'm like, are you serious? They got to call you because what, you want them to beg because you want something to talk about? That's most people. Oh, she called me, or he called me and they needed something, but I gave it to him because, see, I'm a woman of God. Oh, I'm a man of God. I gave it to him. Get out of here. Seriously. You should be the one that should be proactive because you know they're going through. One of my neighbor's wife just died a couple of weeks ago, I guess. I don't know when it was, but I just got the memo on Tuesday. The first thing I said this weekend, I'm going to go by and take him some pasta and some chicken or something so he don't have to cook for a couple of days. But that's who I am. I believe people don't have to ask me. I'm just proactive in my giving. If I have it, I'm going to let them know that I'm thinking about you. It doesn't have to be a lot. Like I said, some of you all got little children. Do you know how much people appreciate cards from children? You made up a card and you said, hey, I'm sorry about what happened. But no, you sit around and you sum up people, their relationships, their job status, their money. And you just sum them up, their children. You just sum up everything for a reason for you not to activate. You need to mind some God business and start giving into some God things. Because God will feed the homeless. He'll feed those that don't have anything. He'll make a way out of no way. Now we're talking about everyone, according to the Bible. But you all will quote that scripture and say, if you ask not, you get not. I just quoted it not too long ago. Okay? So find out, how can you meet the need? You know the person is going through. Find out how you can meet a need. Oh, I don't have much. There's certain words you can say instead of saying, call me if you need me. You know they need you. You know they may need a conversation. They may need baby may need some Pampers. Baby may need some milk. You know they may need $20 to put in their car to go buy grocery. You know they have a need. But you'll sit there and say, if they need it, they'll call me. No, they won't. The whole world is on those people's shoulders. They're dealing with all kind of situations. And you want them to call you and be a beggar. Get out of here. It needs to stop. And I hope that all that listen to this video reconsider what your actions are toward those that you know are going through difficult times, and you sit there and you judge and you talk and you do nothing. Think about that. What can you do today? Send a card. Let them know. Have these people ever sold into you? Have they ever given you good conversation? Have they been there for you when you had difficult times? Most probably have. And you still will sit there and do nothing. So think about that today. As you go about your great Friday evening and you buy yourself some nice food, or you buy yourself some nice clothes, or you do something that you can do because you can afford it. Think about your next door neighbor maybe. They just lost their wife, their husband. Think about how you can take care of a need for somebody else today. Okay? Till the next time.